Welcome to Working in America. I'm your host, Charlene Keel, and we're at Solid Gold near Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Our guest is Jeff Levy, and he oversees operations in all adult nightclubs in 3 states. And if you're looking to buy an adult nightclub, Jeff is the go-to guy. Welcome, Jeff, and thanks for speaking with us today. How did you get started in the adult nightclub industry?
I think about 1989, I actually went into an adult entertainment strip club and met an entertainer, and we started to date, and it was a wonderful relationship.
Well, that was my next question. Have you ever been in love with a stripper?
Oh, yes. Actually, that's how I got into the I dated an entertainer, and we ended up living together for 7 years. So she was a wonderful woman, and we did a lot of wonderful things together. And all the stereotypes that people had of what they call strippers, which is a negative connotation, and we changed that word to really entertainer or exotic dancer. I found that she was an intelligent, attractive, vivacious woman who we had a wonderful time and a wonderful relationship with. And
isn't there a song, something about falling in love with a stripper? Have you ever heard that song?
Yeah, I'm in love with a stripper. Don't make me sing, cause that's gonna get ugly.
Is that your story? You were in love with a stripper? How did that end? That song? How did it end up?
I don't know. Probably not good. It never does.
And I'm not going to ask you about how your relationship ends up.
I really think that relationships with entertainers or relationships just in general are very difficult. So whether it's an entertainer or just any relationship is difficult.
Good answer. That's good. You were the first executive director of the Association of Club Executives, and that oversees 4,000 nightclubs in the U.S. What is ACE and what is its mission?
Well, the mission of ACE is to really combat all the negative challenges that are brought onto the industry by society. So anything of a negative challenge, whether it comes from government, the religious right, society, whoever it may be, we have organized ourselves as a force, as an association, to take on those negative challenges and to stand up for our rights.
Now, I understand that you're in court a lot fighting for First Amendment rights.
Absolutely.
What are some of the most dangerous bills, and how are you fighting them?
Well, there's a few really dangerous bills, a few of them, especially in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, where I am the executive director of all those clubs. There's one particular bill that troubles death, and it's Senate Bill House 945, sponsored by Senator Connor, which says that adult entertainment facilities must be closed at 10 p.m., cannot be open on Sundays. Can't be open on federal holidays, a 6-foot distance requirement between entertainer and guest.
What about serving alcohol in the clubs? Is that allowed?
Well, different states have different laws, and different municipalities have different regulations. Now, let's take at New Jersey, if there's a liquor license on premise, then there cannot be any form of nudity. The entertainer would have to be dressed in a bathing suit or bikini. If there is no liquor on premise, then there can be full nudity. Society believes, and the law believes, that if there's liquor, or some states do, if there's liquor and naked women, that it's going to drive men absolutely insane and crazy, and they're going to cause all kinds of violence.
Has that ever happened in a club? I mean, has the naked dancers created any kind of uncontrollable violence in the clubs?
All our studies, from the most prestigious PhDs and the most prestigious academics, have shown that with nudity is not a factor for violence whatsoever. In fact, there's less violence when there's nudity. The element that makes for violence is alcohol, not nudity. Okay? And people who come to adult entertainment facilities, there are less crime than there would be if they were going to what we call a boy-girl club, a regular nightclub that is not adult. And that has been proven through secondary effects time and time again.
Well, why is it that you think strip clubs or adult nightclubs have such a bad reputation?
Oh, I think that there's these negative connotations that are created by the religious right and church groups that do not understand our industry, have never been in our clubs, have these preconceived notions that there's these wild orgies, that there's sex, that there's drugs, that there's all these deleterious effects that are going on within our environment. And that is not the case. I personally feel that the religious right do not want us in the communities because they have some kind of deep, dark problems or issues themselves.
With sexuality in general, maybe.
There's a small group of people that feel that sexuality is a very bad thing, that's a very dirty thing. Now, there is sexuality within our environments, but there's not sex. Okay,
Right.
We are not prostitution. Our environments are fantasy, not reality, and the trouble is the religious right and government think that it is reality and not fantasy.
And some of these conservative groups are actually accusing adult nightclubs of causing harm to children. What's the link between adult nightclubs and children? I don't get it.
Well, I'm fighting with some Pamela Lampett out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey, who has adopted a bill called Bill 299, which calls for security guards and police officers to be around a 3,000-foot circumference of adult entertainment facilities where there are places that children congregate. Now, her bill is to protect children from people who are going to and from adult entertainment facilities.
But are the patrons of adult nightclubs going there to look for kids?
Of course not.
I mean,
Adults, we're adult nightclub, adults going to see other adults. There is not one documented case of a child ever being harmed by somebody going to and from an adult entertainment facility. And I said to Assemblywoman Lampett, I said, now would you like me to roll in my hand cart of the 8,000 cases that are documented of the clergy, of teachers, of Cub Scout leaders, of daycare centers, of trusted family members who have raped and assaulted children? I said, we do not.
And there's not one single documented case of that.
She could not produce one single documented case.
If you could change anything in the strip club industry, what would it be?
It would be that I'd want to send a positive message of the positive things that we do, about the powerful things that we have changed people's lives for the better, that we've made homeless women be able to buy homes, to buy cars, to put themselves through college, to make their lives better. And we've done this time and time again. And I think if people knew how much we cared about the entertainer and what we have done for them in a positive aspect, I have a program called Operation Education that educates entertainers to get their GEDs. So that's the message that I would say, that there's a lot of positive things, and you're looking at the negative things. Please look at the positive aspects of what we're doing.
In addition to giving women an opportunity to work, you're also a great supporter of women's rights. I understand you also have tried to make sure that the dancers are covered with health insurance, and that's an ongoing thing?
Well, I've tried as the first executive director of the Association of Club Executive to do as many positive things for the entertainer, because it is the entertainer that we all make a living from. Now, you can come into any club and the martinis may be drier and the beer may be colder or the beer may be better, but they come for the entertainer.
Right.
So I wanted to do as many positive things that I could to help the entertainer with their lives, and part of that was to help them with, you know, health insurance and education and other counseling needs, whatever it was.
Okay, what do you think of President Obama, and do you think he helps or hurts the nightclub industry?
Oh, we were a big supporter of President Obama, and we knew when John McCain was elected president, the dynamics of the Supreme Court would change to be so conservative that any time that we presented a case to the Supreme Court, we would probably lose. Now, the Supreme Court is going to change drastically because you have some people on there who are ready to retire. And I think President Obama is a little bit more liberal, and he'll be looking at more liberal-thinking judges, not only for the Supreme Court, but also on the federal Court of Appeals. So I think that he definitely helps our industry, and if he was not elected in I think our industry would have had a very, very difficult time in the next 5 to 10 years.
Let's go back for a moment to First Amendment rights. What are exactly the rights that you're fighting